Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win, you find a way to lose. Look, Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn are full of crap. Chickens. 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 Hey, man, I don't want to hear nobody praise Anthony Joshua anymore. I don't have nothing good to say about Eddie Hearn anymore. This is a travesty. So old fast Eddie, he was grinning ear to ear when Deontay Wilder lost to Parker. Eddie Hearn didn't know what to do with himself. I think he pulled a Jack Reese, like how Jack Reese did Tyson Fury, and grabbed Anthony Joshua by the mouth and probably tongue kissed him. That's how ridiculous the man was. So happy that he didn't have to put old Anthony Joshua in the ring with Deontay Wilder. So anyway, I gave AJ a whole lot of credit for, facing Jermaine Franklin, coming in with Hellenius, seemed to find his mojo again, getting it with Wallen, who I thought Wallen would have more success, and doing to Wallen what he did. But then you find out, okay, they knew Franklin wouldn't be too much of an issue because Franklin had already fought. Now, pay attention now. Franklin had already fought Dillian White, and he couldn't do nothing with Dillian White. So that told them, hey, if he can't beat White, and you beat White, so you should be okay. So they put him in there with Franklin. Then, hey, put you in with Hellenius. He just finished fighting like a week ago. Dillian White dropped out, which he knew they would beat. They knew they would beat Dillian White, but supposedly it was something about drugs, which I don't know how true that is. Because Dillian White, look, pay attention now. Dillian White just disappears from the face of the planet. This man not even back in Jamaica. He's gone. Since when have you seen Dillian White not do interviews, not talk, not say nothing? Let me tell you, they paid him money. This is what I believe. They gave that man probably 5, 6, 7 million to just go away. But this is how we're going to spend it. And he took that money. Then you say, oh, okay, we're going to get a replacement. We're going to bring Hellenius in. He just fought. Thank God. We saw him in there with Wilder. He can't take a hard shot. AJ hits as hard as Wilder. Let's make the fight. Getting there with Hellenius. AJ finally decides to let his hands go per the direction of Derrick James. Tranquilizes him. Y'all pay attention to that, right? Franklin, handpicked. Dillian White, I think, paid money to get the hell out of Dodge. Then Hellenius, handpicked. They could have picked anybody. They knew what they were doing. Then you come now and you pick Otto Wallen. Hand-picked. He could have fought anybody. Otto Wallen. Now don't get me wrong, Otto Wallen had moved up in the rankings. He did. He moved up in the rankings. He did a good job against Tyson Fury and got a great win right before he fought AJ. But this is the thing. AJ and Wallen have sparred numerous rounds, just like Wilder and Hellenius. AJ knew what he was getting, so did Eddie Hearn when they made that fight. AJ had an easy fight. That's why he came out and he pressed the action with his foot on the gas the way he did. But nonetheless, you give him all the credit in the world. But I said handpicked. Franklin handpicked, Hellenius handpicked, Wallen handpicked. But he still looked good. So now here it is. Right? This is why I say he and Eddie Hearn are full of Isht. I'm out here like, boom, AJ's going to go after Hrgovic. If not Hrgovic, maybe he fights Jane. He got his mojo back. And then he fights Francis Ngannou. Come on. I understand Ngannou was able to put the hand of God on Tyson Fury and drop him. I understand. But I already did a video where I said I think that shit was fixed. Because Fury threw that bing bing 1-2. And then when he went to throw the 1-2 a second time, Ngannou threw his left hand. He was already countering him. So I think that shit was set up. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying you're right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying I'm right. You're wrong. I'm just saying it's my opinion. Now, AJ's going to fight him. What happened to Hrgovic? So obviously, they must know something we don't. As far as the direction the IBF's going to go with Fury and Usyk. Kind of makes me feel that AJ knows he has some time. So he goes and fights Ngannou, which handpicked, because they just saw Ngannou fight Tyson Fury. And that was an out-of-shape Tyson Fury who still managed to do enough to get the win. AJ should tranquilize him, but I just think this could be something that backfires on him. But AJ should tranquilize him. I think he's handpicking him. Ngannou's big, he's strong, but he's kind of slow. And his defense isn't the best. AJ has fast hands. He shoots sharp punches. He has great combinations. I think AJ actually knocks Ngannou out. I think he does. AJ is defensively responsible. I think he just has too much for Ngannou. I personally think that, but it could go wrong because Ngannou's had more time to work now, and his confidence is through the roof. This could be another one of them hand picks that goes wrong. But if I was a betting man, I think AJ would get in there and get him out of there because he knows he can hit him and he can hurt him. But we just got to see. Ngannou's a different animal, man. That guy, growing up, hard life, different type of strength. Was only dropped once, and that was in the MMA with those small gloves. So it's kind of difficult for me to sit here and say with confidence AJ knocks him out, AJ beats him. But I think AJ should get the job done. But again, it's a hand pick. But it lets me know that Usyk and Fury, whoever wins, they may not have to go and defend against the mandatory for the IBF. They may be the rematch with all 4 belts or 5 belts are on the line again. A luxury that Terrence Crawford didn't have. So we just got to wait and see how it plays out. Because this decision they're making to have AJ face Ngannou and then possibly Wilder and Zhang on the undercard fighting each other, or Zhang fighting an opponent, then Wilder fighting some opponent. 3 heavyweight fights on that card, right? It doesn't make sense unless they know for a fact that the IBF belt's not going to be freed up. Nobody's going to be forced to vacate. It's not going to be stripped. So there's a whole lot more to the decision that was made here. Because this, to me, for AJ, seems to be a stay busy fight. But my thing is, put him in there with someone else. Why Ngannou? But at the same time, I'm happy for Ngannou to get the fight. This could be one of the things what AJ want to do for him. Ngannou being from Cameroon, Africa, AJ, parents, Nigerian. Could be an African connection, man. Could be, another coming to America, man, with the guys working at McDowell's. The African connection, take the guy down with the mop handle and shit, so I don't knock that. I think that's a beautiful thing if that's what's going on. But at the same time, this isn't what we want to see with AJ. But it's still a cherry pick because he saw what Fury did to him. So AJ cherry picked, what's his name? Franklin, because he saw what Dillian White did. Cherry picked Hellenius. He saw what Wilder did. Cherry picked, he cherry picked out of Wallen because he knows what he did to him personally over and over in sparring. And out of cherry picking Ngannou because they saw what Fury did. See, he doesn't want to go into uncharted territory. He doesn't want to go in there against Zhang. He fought him in the Olympics, but he don't want to mess with Zhang right now. That's why they're trying to throw Zhang on Wilder. Horrible. You don't want to get in there with Jalalov and them other guys. You don't want to mess with them. But it just doesn't make sense to me that he's not fighting Hrgovic. There's so much more to the story, but we'll get, as the days pass, we'll get a little bit more fidelity on what's going on. It's crazy. But as far as Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn, man, they're full of crap. They never wanted to fight Wilder. I tend to believe Wilder, man. They never wanted to fight. But at the same time, I know Eddie Hearn's about money. And I do believe they signed a contract So they were gonna fight Wilder because the contract was signed. So I gotta be fair, they did sign the contract. But deep down, I don't think they wanted to fight Wilder. I think the Saudis were the ones that were behind that. Right now, I don't know what to think. But I asked the question before, is he gonna fight Ngannou or is Joshua gonna fight Hrgovic? And a lot of us felt it would be Hrgovic because that's what Eddie Hearn was talking up and saying. Joshua talking about fighting for a title. This whole time they knew they weren't going to fight no damn Hrgovic. They knew exactly what they were going to do. Go after Ngannou. Man, Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn are full of crap, man. I give up on these guys. But don't get me wrong, I'll be watching the fight. I just think they're full of hot air. Eddie Hearn knows he can't afford for AJ to lose a fight. The zone can't afford for AJ to lose a fight. So they're going to make sure they keep feeding them. They're just feeding them man fodder. It's crazy. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, 7 continents. This is just making AJ's profile raise even more if he beats Ngannou, especially if he knocks him out. Most people probably won't give him credit because they're going to say Ngannou's not a boxer. The high he's riding coming off of the Tyson Fury win, knockdown, all that's going to go up in flames. But as far as AJ and Eddie Hearn, that's what they want for AJ's profile to keep growing. So he'll be up next, either against Hrgovic or going straight into a fight, paying Hrgovic step-aside money. People see this is the thing. A lot of people think Hrgovic won't take that step-aside money. Hrgovic can take that step-aside money, especially when Eddie Hearn says money talks. That's what Eddie Hearn said about Hrgovic and taking step-aside money. He said, well, money talks. Money seems to be able to fix. It's just how much money does it take to fix a problem. So that let me know right there, Eddie Hearn's like, shit, Anthony Joshua against Fury or Usyk for undisputed, whoever that is, that's a $100 million payday for AJ. We'll give Hrgovic $10 million, $15 million to move out the way. Because we know we're going to come out here and make 80 plus million, 85 million. So Eddie Hearn ain't stupid. He ain't stupid. What's 10, 15 million if I'm going to come out here now and my guy's going to make 85 million? Why wouldn't Hrgovic take 10 or 15 million to step aside? Better pay attention, people. Secret societies in full effect. And they somehow seem to be on goddamn Eddie Hearn's side. Isn't that crazy? Eddie Hearn, AJ, Tyson Fury, Frank Warren, Bob Arum. How is that possible? You ever ask yourself that? In the breeze.